Robert is right. I should take a rest. Tomorrow I'll find out more than today.
Rozdział drugi się zaczyna. Z powrotem do światła. Czy jakoś tak?
I had a terrible dream. In the morning, my thoughts were interrupted by a knock at the door.
Mieliśmy jakiś okropny sen, jak widać. Ktoś się topił w wodzie.
Sir! Sir! Open up!
What's going on, Bates?
Open up, sir! I have to tell you something.
Hold on, Bates. I'm there in a moment. What's the matter, then?
It's horrible, sir. Henry, our gardener. They found him in the garden pond.
Calm down, Bates. What are you talking about?
They found him dead this morning in the pond. I know what I am saying. I saw his body being dragged out.
How did it happen?
I have no idea. Detective Collier will tell you that. He has been questioning everyone for quite some time now, and he wants to speak to you too. He did not give any of us a chance to recover from the shock, not even Madam.
Where will I find him?
He's waiting for you in the common room. We had better go there right away, sir.
All right, let's go.
Jeden dzień się skończył, już kolejna śmierć.
Detective Collier.
Yes. Samuel Gordon, I presume. I need to speak with you. Mr. Gordon, do you know what happened?
Yes, Bates told me everything.
Good. I need to ask you a couple of questions. Shall we begin?
Yes.
Did you speak with Henry Stanton yesterday?
Yes, I only arrived yesterday, but I spoke with him during the day.
Oh, you arrived yesterday.
Yes, to attend William's funeral.
I understand. What did you speak with Stanton about?
I don't know exactly. It was a very trivial conversation.
Had you known him from before?
No, I only knew Mr. Dickens, who was Henry's predecessor.
That was before you left the manor.
Yes, about 12 years ago.
Okay, let's return to your conversation with Stanton yesterday. Did he seem strange to you? Nervous or disturbed?
No, nothing like that. He behaved normally.
So, you are saying that he seemed normal?
Right.
I spoke to Morris, your groom, before this interview. He told me that Stanton would often have a bit too much to drink.
Yes, I have heard the same.
Madame Victoria has also confirmed it.
What do you make of it?
Well, they found him in the garden pond, tangled up in algae. I don't know yet how he ended up in there, but the most likely explanation is that it was on account of his drunken state. He might have bumped into something, lost his balance, and fallen into the water.
Maybe. But don't you think the water would have awakened him?
No, exactly the opposite. It was water that caused his death. He fainted, fell into the pond, and the cold water did its thing.
Stopped his heart?
He wouldn't be the first drunkard to have drowned like this. What's ironic, however, is that it didn't happen in a lake or a river, but in a little bit of water in the back garden. Oh well, no man can choose his death. If there is nothing you need to ask, I won't be keeping you any longer.
Thank you.
I have all I need for now. Would you please see me out?
Certainly. Follow me, Detective.
I will now wait for Dr. Herman's report and close this case. Thanks for your time, Gordon.
You're welcome, Detective.
Goodbye.
Collier wants to close the case. Now that Henry is dead, I've got to find a way to obtain the second part of that strange object.
No tak. Śmierć Henry'ego trochę ułatwiła jedną sprawę z poszukiwaniem tego obiektu, który podprowadził. No ale się tutaj ciekawie zrobiło znowu. No i musimy się teraz tym zająć. Więc czekają nas przynajmniej 2 rzeczy do zrobienia. Tak, musimy jakoś odzyskać ten weksel. I musimy tak, żeby zamienić go na ten dziwny przedmiot, a także odwiedzić doktora Hermana. Bo mieliśmy to zrobić. Dobra, jak już jesteśmy na zewnątrz, to może po zewnętrznej stronie sobie pochodźmy. Wóz.
Morris carried the hay sacks away in time before it started to rain.
O, no fajnie. Za to ty mokniesz. Tak. Wejdźmy do stajni. O, jest Morris. Co wiesz o śmierci Henry'ego? Przyznaj się, że to ty go
Morris, do you have a
załatwiłeś.
Sure.
No, gadaj.
What do you think about what has happened to Henry?
It was to be expected. He drank way too much. I guess it had to end like this.
It sounds like you really don't care that it happened.
Well, we didn't exactly like each other, but I wish no ill will to anyone.
It was you who found him, right?
Yes, I needed something from the back garden, and as I was walking past, I noticed something floating in the fountain. I went closer to have a look, and he was totally tangled up in the weeds. I could see nothing except his coat.
Did you notice anything else?
No, I panicked, you see. I ran to the castle to get Bates to go have a look with me. I kept thinking I might have been confused and imagined it. But it really was Henry.
What happened next?
I rode into the village to get the detective. You know the rest.
So, Morris found Henry.
No dobra.
Were you in the stable yesterday?
Sure I was. Where else would I have been?
The lights were not on.
Well, maybe I wasn't. Why are you asking? Oh, I can see where you're coming from. You're thinking that maybe what happened to Henry might not have been an accident and that somebody might have helped him into that pond. I may be a drunkard and a saucebox, sir, but I'm no murderer.
No one is calling you a murderer, Morris. I was just asking.
All right, fair enough, sir. If Madam learns that you are starting to suspect me, I may as well go looking for a new job. There's not much work available in this neighborhood. And besides, who would want to hire a man with one leg that is almost completely lame?
I'm not accusing you of anything, Morris. At least not yet.
Dobra, damy ci spokój. Swoją drogą tłumaczenie było, czy byłeś dzisiaj w stajni, a tak naprawdę Samuel się pytał, czy byłeś wczoraj w stajni. Tak więc troszkę tłumaczenie w błąd tu wprowadzało. No i jeszcze powiedz o studni. Coś cię prosiliśmy z tą studnią.
Morris, have you boarded up the old well like I asked you to yesterday?
Not yet, sir. I'll do it today.
It should have been done yesterday. I'm surprised that Henry didn't fall into it.
Excuse me, sir?
You know well how I meant that. I want to see it secured today, or you can start looking for a new job. Is that clear?
Sure, I'll do it. You needn't shout at me, sir.
I have no idea what has gotten into me. Why did I yell at him like that? I will go then.
All right, sir.
Tak, Samuelowi nie podoba się, że Studnia jeszcze nie jest zabita. No. Coś tu było można kliknąć. Włącznik. O, można zgasić światło? A nie, można
There's
zapalić.
enough light in here during the day.
No, ciekawe, czemu można tu zapalić światło. Nie widzę powodu ku temu. No ale dobra. No to wychodzimy chyba. Tak. No studnia w sumie wygląda jakby była zabita deskami. Z tej perspektywy. No ale jak Samuel mówi, że nie jest, to nie jest. Tak. Pójdźmy zobaczyć to miejsce, w którym znaleziono Henry'ego. Zobaczymy, czy coś tam nie pominęli, jakiejś wskazówki. Tu jest. Fontanna. No, szybciej. Biegnij, biegnij do tej fontanny.
According to both Bates and Collier, Henry's body was tangled up in algae when they found him. How could he possibly have drowned in this, though?
No, takie malutkie tutaj zbiorniczek wody, prawie jak kałuża.
I shouldn't have made Henry clean the fountain. How could I have known that something like that would happen? The water is murkier than yesterday. The water is Something is glittering at the bottom. What could it be?
No, trzeba było drugim przyciskiem kliknąć.
Something is... What could it... The water...
No dobra, ale jak ty to wyjmiesz? Żadnym przyciskiem nie działa teraz. Tak, czasami to jest trudne. O, są ślady stóp jeszcze.
There's a deep footprint in the mud. It looks quite fresh. Whom does it belong to?
No, mógł być to Henry, mógł być to Morris, mógł być to Bates, a mógł to być detektyw. Zastanawiam się, czy musimy użyć tu jakiegoś przedmiotu, żeby...
Something is glittering at the bottom. What could it be?
Żeby tutaj wziąć ten przedmiot, co jest no co błyszczy na dnie, to co Samuel mówi. Ale nie mam w tej chwili pomysłu. No bo takiego czegoś do łowienia to niczego tu nie mamy. A może mi się przypomniało. To trzeba zrobić. Tak, no to chodźmy do jadalni, od razu zobaczymy, czy to o to chodzi. I do... Tutaj nic nie ma nowego raczej. Do kuchni. O, Batesa nie ma w kuchni, ciekawe. O, ale za to piwnica jest otwarta. Tak, wydaje mi się, że w piwnicy można wypompować wodę z fontanny. Wtedy będzie można tam przeszukać.
The door is open. Someone must be down there.
Tak, w końcu do piwnicy się dostajemy. Słychać nawet ostrzałkę. Tutaj chyba Bates właśnie siedział. No ale się rozejrzyjmy najpierw. Duże beczki.
Wine kegs full of quality red.
No, fajna piwnica. Studnia, jeszcze jedna studnia. Studnia w piwnicy.
This well is from the era when the castle was under siege. It was supposed to connect the castle with an underground system of corridors, but that's merely old hearsay. No one has ever seen those corridors.
Może są dobrze ukryte.
It's several tens of meters deep, but the water from it can't be drunk.
Jak to? Czemu nie można pić? Mógłbyś więcej wyjaśnić. Dobra, jest Bates. A tam można iść na zaplecze. Tu jeszcze jest. Zbiorniki.
They're full of clean water. The cellar is quite cold, so the water is always cool. I can't see anything special, just clean water.
Dobra. No to pogadajmy z Batesem. A potem pójdziemy na zaplecze.
Bates?
Co ty, noże ostrzysz?
Yes, sir?
O, jak dużo tematów. No to niech będzie Henry najpierw.
You said you were there when they dragged Henry out of the fountain.
Unfortunately, I was. The sight was terrible.
I have to tell you something. I feel responsible for what happened to him.
Why would you say something like that, sir?
Well, I ordered him to clean the fountain. He did not want to do it, but I insisted.
You mustn't think that way, sir. Surely, if he had not been drunk, nothing would have happened. And I actually heard Dr. Herman say that his death occurred sometime after midnight. It is not your fault. Certainly, he would not be cleaning it in the middle of the night.
I really hope so. Bates is probably right. Henry most likely fell in there by accident.
No, ciekawe. Czy tak było? Bates.
Bates, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You don't have to work under the circumstances.
No, sir. I do not want to just be sitting around brooding. I'd rather attend to my responsibilities. It helps take my mind off things.
I understand.
Dobra. Co o detektywie powiesz?
I spoke to Collier. As you can imagine, he asked me a lot of curious questions. Tell me, what did he question you about?
Many things. But most of all, he was interested in the place where we found Henry. It was very unpleasant having to describe it all over again, sir.
Oh? Can you repeat to me what you told him?
I was afraid you would ask. Well, if I must. I was awakened by a sharp knock at the door of my room. Morris was shouting something about Henry. He seemed utterly confused, rapidly pouring out incoherent sentences. He wanted me to go with him to the back garden immediately. At that moment, I still had no inkling of what had transpired.
Did you go with him right to the fountain?
Yes, and only there did I realize what had happened. It took me a while to come to myself again, but then I went straight to the telephone.
What time was it?
It was about 6 in the morning. Collier and Dr. Herman arrived an hour later. That is all, sir. You know the rest.
Yes. Thanks for being so patient, Bates.
Czyli Herman znowu tu był również, ale pewnie już wrócił do siebie tym razem.
When did Dr. Herman leave?
Half an hour ago. He took Henry's body to the old morgue.
Did he mention to anyone what he thought about all this?
He had a long conversation with the detective, but I have no idea what they were speaking about. I was so distraught, I was not really listening.
All right. That's all then, Bates. Body is in the old morgue then.
No, czyżbyśmy chcieli zobaczyć to ciało? Morris?
What was Morris doing in the back garden so early in the morning? His work is in the stable, right?
Yes, but he sometimes helps with the gardening. Henry cannot do everything that needs to be done. I mean, he was not...
Okej. A Robert?
Have you seen Robert today?
Yes, Sir Robert was reading the newspaper in the dining room this morning. If you would like to speak with him, I am sure you'll find him in his study.
Okej. Na pewno zajrzymy. A fontanna?
Bates, can the fountain back in the garden be drained?
Yes, there is a big pump in the cellar. It controls the water flow for the whole castle. It is possible to adjust the water level. However, I do not think it is a good idea to drain it after what happened. And Detective Collier should probably be notified about it, sir.
I am merely considering all the alternatives. We have the right to find out what happened. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. In that case, it is probably best not to tell anyone. Is that what you meant, sir?
Very much so. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Bates jak zwykle pomocny. No to idziemy zrobić to, co powiedział. Kolejna beczka.
It's empty. There's nothing in it.
Pusta beczka. O, stojak wino można obejrzeć z tej perspektywy.
This is where our best vintages are stored. The temperature as well as degree of dampness is ideal.
Ciekawe jak stare są.
Maybe I'll choose a bottle sometime later. I have no time for that now.
Okej. Pompa. O nie.
Water distribution controls. I have no idea which one does what.
Niedobrze, to chyba będzie zagadka. Zagadki zawsze są trudne.
The pump is part of the entire water distribution system. It pumps the water in and out endlessly, according to immediate needs.
A przynajmniej często są trudne. Czemu ty się wycofałeś z tego?
I have no idea which one does what.
No ale jest podpisane tam R i S. Były jakieś takie literki. Nie wiem, może Bates wie.
Do you need anything, sir?
I would like to ask you about something.
Certainly, sir.
A, mów.
Bates, that pump we talked about,
Yes, sir?
I think it is broken. Which valve controls the water level?
The pump works all right, sir. Only one of the input valves broke off some time ago. The water level can still be adjusted using the other valves. It just takes a moment to figure out the right setup for what you want to do.
How do I know if I have drained the fountain then?
If I remember correctly, the second column from the right displays the level of water in the fountain.
I will give it a try. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Druga od prawej. Czy to nie była właśnie ta, w której nie było zaworu? Zaraz zobaczymy. No, biegnij. Tak, to tak, gdzie nie ma zaworu. Jest tu najwięcej wody w dodatku. No to jak to działa? Okej. No i co? To nie o to chodziło? Trochę dziwne. A teraz nic nie mogę kliknąć? Zepsuło się. Ani nie mogę ani w lewo, ani w prawo. Gdzie jest jakiś reset? Jak wyjdę i wejdę, to będzie reset? A nie, drugim guzikiem jest w prawo. Mówiłem, że będzie trudne. O, udało się.
Ready.
Mówiłem, że będzie łatwe. Tak, udało się osuszyć fontannę. No to idziemy do niej. Tak, Bates raczej mu nie będzie można powiedzieć. Hurra, udało się nam. Tak zakładam, więc już go nie zaczepiam. Tak, wyjdziemy sobie. I tak, nie ma tu już wody. O, już mamy podpisany symbol, tu jest.
I can't see anything, just mud. Where is that shiny thing?
No szukaj. O, przestało się świecić. Dziwne, ale jest symbol.
A sign of some sort, or a symbol.